Hey guys, Begotten here back once again, and tonight I'm going to be doing a top 10 list. This is going to be a list of my top 10 sickest and most disturbing movies that I have seen so far. And this is basically going to be a list of films that have disturbed me the most, movies that have like sickened me, grossed me out, and pretty much things like that. First I want to say this is all in my opinion, so if you disagree with it, that's cool. But these are just my personal films that have disturbed me. Also want to say there are a few movies on here that I know everyone has seen that I have not seen. Like I have not seen the Human Centipede 2, so don't ask me about that. And I have not seen the Serbian film all the way through, and that's one reason why it's not on it. Now let's go ahead and get to the list. So now the first film that I have at number 10 is Olaf Edenbach's The Burning Moon. And now I remember when I first saw this, I thought this movie was really disturbing to me. One thing that really struck a chord with me about this movie is the fact that Olaf Edenbach's character was a drug addict. That sort of put something in my head because, like, I have friends that have had problems with drugs in their past, and so seeing that it kind of disturbs me. But it doesn't really disturb me. But what he does after he gets on drugs at the very end of the film, that's what's disturbing. The after effects of drugs gets me, and of course the gore effects in it are amazing in this movie. And so that's my number 10. Also want to say, if it's a movie that I've already reviewed on my channel, I'm not going to talk so much about it because that might take a lot of time. But anyway, at number 9, it's I Spit on Your Grave, starring Camille Keaton. And this movie was the first like rape revenge movie that I saw. I saw this one before I saw The Last House on the Left, and it was very real and very raw. And scenes of her being raped, they looked very brutal and very raw, and that was really disturbing for me. My favorite scene in the whole movie is, of course, the bathtub scene when she gets revenge. That scene has always just been my favorite scene. But yeah, just a real raw film. At number 8 is one movie I have not talked about yet, and it's a movie called Begotten. And basically what this movie is, it's set in modern time. I mean, the movie, it was made, it's more of a modern horror film, but basically the movie, it's in black and white and it's silent. And I think that it being in black and white really adds to it because it's really dark and it really just puts you over the edge, puts you in a really creepy mood, creepy setting. And basically the whole film is about, it's set place in the wood. It starts off in the woods, and there's a cabin, and there's this person sitting there, and he's supposed to represent God. And it shows him basically disemboweling himself, mutilating himself, and he has like a knife, and he's basically just going at his stomach, and it's really, really graphic, really gory. But it's in black and white, so there's no blood. So the blood it's not red, but he's really just basically mutilating himself with a knife, and it's just really, really bloody, really gory. And then there's blood coming out of his mouth and things like that. And then there's a woman that comes out of him, or comes out from underneath his robe, and she's supposed to represent Mother Earth. And from that point on, the movie just goes completely insane. So that movie was really, really creepy and really disturbing. So Begotten is number 8. At number 7, it's Salò, the 120 Days of Sodom, which is basically, the movie is basically about a group of fascists kidnapped these boys and these girls and basically make them perform sexual acts. They torture them. The film is a lot of sodomy, rape, a lot of really stuff like that. A lot of people consider Salò an art film. In some ways I can see it as an art film, but in some ways I can't see it as an art film. This is one of those one of those movies for me where a lot of people say, it's art, and a lot of people say it's filth. I sort of see it as in the middle. I can see how it's sort of artistic in some ways, and I can see how it's just complete filth in others. So, for me, that's really good. It's a very well done film, though. It's very, very well done. There's some scenes in it that are actually very beautiful, especially the setting. But, yeah, and it's very historical as well, so, At number 6, this could also fall into like if I ever did a list of like my top bloodiest movies, this could fall in, but it's Guinea Pig 2, Flower of Flesh and Blood. And out of all the guinea pig films that I've seen, this is definitely my favorite one. But basically the whole film is basically just a Japanese man basically kidnaps this girl, and the whole film is him chopping off her limbs and basically, cutting her up into teeny tiny pieces. That's mostly what it's about. One thing that really got to me was that while he's pulling off pieces of her body, you can actually hear her bones cracking, and that really got to me. That was really really a thing that sort of made me cringe every time I heard it. Alright, at number 5, it's Yard Bookratt's Necromantic. And the reason why this movie disturbs me is because it's very realistic. Movies that are very realistic, or movies that you watch and you think, wow, that could really happen, really disturb me. And the thought of the whole film is basically about necrophilia, which is basically somebody who falls in love and has sex with a corpse. And stuff like that really gets me, because like when you think about that, it's really disturbing that somebody would find like a corpse attractive and would actually want to have sex with it and things like that. But at the same time, you start thinking, wow, this could really happen. So like, even like if there was somebody, at a funeral, like if one of your family members died, somebody could really go in and do it. Another movie that I would definitely recommend next to Necromantic is Aftermath Genesis. That is also another movie that deals with necrophilia and things like that. And that's a very disturbing, that's just a creepy idea of someone that's having sex with a corpse. And so that's my number 5. At number 4, considered the most controversial horror film of all time, and it's Cannibal Holocaust. And this movie has amazing special effects. I love the gore in it. But another thing is that the movie it puts you in like a dirty mood. Just being out in the middle of the jungle and, just things like that just put you in a dirty mood. And the scenes with the snakes and things like that and stuff, but the gore is amazing. Also, this is the film that has probably the most animal killings, which is very notorious for, or infamous, as I was to say. And I've talked about this in my review for Cannibal Holocaust. So just search my channel and you'll be able to find it. But yeah, stuff like that. It doesn't really get to, it gets to me if it's like an animal that doesn't deserve to die, like a dog or something like that. But if it's something like, if you see like a deer getting shot in a horror movie, that doesn't disturb me. But I can understand why they killed the animals in the movie, like the turtles and things like that, but at the other time I sort of can't. I really don't want to get into it in this video, but just check out my Cannibal Holocaust review and I talk about it more. Now at number 3, this is probably one of the most disturbing movies to me because it's highly realistic and it really did happen. It's a film called Men Behind the Sun. And basically the film, it's set in World War II, and it's basically about the Japanese experiments on torturing people. And they're basically trying out nuclear weapons, and they're basically using people as human guinea pigs. There's a lot of really disturbing graphic scenes in this one. None of them are really gory or anything like that, but that's one thing I like it. It's very realistic. The acting in it is horrible in it, but it's very realistic, and the fact that, it really shows a part of history that a lot of people would rather forget. And, it's just, they just do it. What they did is just really disturbing things. So Men Behind the Sun is my number 3 most disturbing film. At number 2, this is in everybody's list, but I'll definitely say out of the 3 August Underground films, August Underground's Mortem is probably my most disturbing film. As I said before, I did a review of it. But yeah, this one is really graphic, really gory. Of course, one of the top scenes is the scenes when they kidnap this couple and they're torturing the girl, and they basically tell the boyfriend to castrate himself or they're going to kill his girlfriend. He does, and of course they start abusing her with his chopped off penis. That's really disturbing. And then the other scene where they're causing the girls to vomit, and the main, of course, the main guy, Fred Vogel, who's the star of the August Underground films and the owner of Toe Tag Pictures, they're jerking off and they're masturbating and they're getting off to seeing these girls puke. It's really gross and very disturbing. Like I said, I did a review of it, so please check it out. And anyway, guys, my number 1 sickest and most disturbing movie, in my opinion, is Karim Hussein's Subconscious Cruelty. And basically what Subconscious Cruelty is about is a series of events about people about them abusing people, religion, objects, the earth, basically just to get pleasure out of it. There's a lot of really disturbing scenes in this one. Like at one point there's a scene where this guy, he had sex with his sister. It's off camera, but then there's a scene where she's giving birth, and he kills the baby, and in shock that kills the mother. And that's really, really gross. And then there's also a scene of him where he's basically dreaming about his sister giving birth, and there's just blood just squirting out of her vagina, just so much blood, and it's really gory. I would definitely put that into like another, like if I ever did like a very gory list, I would do that too. And then there's also a scene about, you know, like people are like actually like having sex with the earth, and they're raping the earth, and it's really gross. Like they're actually like having sex with it. And I think that like the last scene is where a guy's like masturbating, and he's masturbating with like barbed wire, and there's blood, and he's basically castrating himself, and it's really, really hard to see, really disturbing. It's really a good film, but it's really, really, really hard to watch and very grotesque. Very, very good film. But anyway, guys, that was my list. I'm going to go through them again. At number 10, The Burning Moon. At number 9, I Spit on Your Grave. Number 8, Begotten. Number 6, Sallow, or the 120 Days of Sodom. Oh, number 7, sorry. Number 6 is Guinea Pig 2, Flower, Flesh and Blood. Number 5 is Necromantic. Number 4, Number 4, Cannibal Holocaust. Number 3, Men Behind the Sun. Number 2, August Underground's Mortem. And number 1, Subconscious Cruelty. That is my list. I had to write them all down to remember, but that is my list of my top 10 sickest and most disturbing movies that I've seen. Please leave, you know, responses down below if you guys want to. Recommend me any other disturbing film that you think I should see. You know, and I will be doing reviews of this. I'm probably going to be doing a review of Men Behind the Sun soon. But I can't do it next week because I'll be busy, but I'll probably do it when I get back, and maybe Subconscious Cruelty, you know. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This has been my list of my top 10 sickest and most disturbing movies that I've seen so far. And I hope everybody's doing well. I'll see you guys later.